Hi everyone, for this lesson I'll show you how to organize and display data. Alright, so let's take a look at some vocabulary. We have the first one here, which is frequency. Alright, and that's referred to the number of occurrences. And the second one is a frequency table. And that shows the frequency of each data value. And we'll take a look at an example. Alright, so now we can take a look at the test scores for these 9 students, and we'll take a look at the frequency. We have 155, 160, 163, 170, 177, and there's 190 here and another 90, so we have 2. And there's a 93 and a 99. The next thing we want to do is create a frequency table. Okay, now we're ready to make the frequency table. I already started with the scores on the left hand side of the table, and notice that I started with 51 and I made an interval from 51 to 60, and then from 61 to 70, and so on, making sure that the interval size is the same. Now on the right hand side of the table is the frequency. So now we'll look at the test scores, and we'll try to find all of the scores that fall into this range, which is 51 to 60. Okay, for the first interval, which is 51 to 60, we have 2 data values, which is 55 and 60. So for the frequency, we'll write down 2. And then for the next interval, 61 to 70, we have 63 and 70. Again, that's 2. And then moving right along, 71 to 80, we have 77. And that's it, so that's just 1. And then we'll do 81 to 90. So we have 1 here, another 1 here, so we have 2 of those. And then for 91 to 100, we have 93 and 99. So again, that's 2 also. Okay, so what we created is a frequency table. Where the scores are on the left hand side and the frequency is on the right hand side. Alright, let's take a look at histogram, which is a bar graph that is used to display the frequency of the data. And normally the data is divided into equal intervals. Alright, so let's take a look at this example here. We have a frequency table that represents the number of hours that students watch television. On the left hand side are the intervals, and on the right hand side is the frequency. We have from 0 to 5, we have 2 students. From 6 to 11 hours, we have 10 students. From 12 to 17, we have 4. And from 18 to 23, we only have 1 student. So on the right hand side here, we have the frequency on the vertical axis and the number of hours on the horizontal axis. Okay, so for the first interval, which is from 0 to 5, we have 2 for the frequency. So on the x-axis, we'll label 0 to 5, and then we'll go up to 2. And then for the second interval, which is from 6 to 11, we have 10 students. So we'll label 6 to 11. And we'll go all the way up to 10. And then for the third interval, which is 12 to 17, we have 4 students, so we'll go up to 4. And then the last one there, which is from 18 to 23, we only have one student, so we'll go to 1. Okay, well, let's label it first, 18 to 23, and the other one was 12 to 17. Okay, so make sure when you're creating the histogram that the bars are connecting, right? And make sure it's clearly labeled. Okay, so the last concept for this lesson is called the cumulative frequency table. And the definition is the cumulative frequency table shows the frequency, right, or the number of occurrences of all data values at or below a given value. Okay, so now let's take a look at this example where we have the number of tweets for the first column, the frequency for the middle column, and we have to find the cumulative frequency in the third column. So for the first interval, from 0 to 9, there are 20 students. So the cumulative frequency is just the 20. Right? And then for the next interval, from 10 to 19, we added 7 more students, right? The frequency for that one is 7. So if you want to find the cumulative frequency, which is the number of data values that lie at or below that given interval, well, in this case, you just add the 7 to it, so you get 27. And in the same way, to get the next interval here, which is from 20 to 29, the cumulative frequency will be 33 because you add the 6 to it. And then the last one there, you start with the 33, and the next interval you have 2 students, so you add that to the 33, so you have 35. So basically, to get the next cumulative frequency, you take the previous one, which is the 20 here, and you add the frequency of the next interval. In this case, it's 7, so you get 27. And then to get the next cumulative frequency, you take the previous one, and you add the frequency of the next interval, and you get 33. Right? 27 plus 6 is 33. And the last one there, you have the 33, you add the 2, then you get the 35. Okay, and we're done, and we're happy.